DJ Terrestrial.
Organization.
Sure. So I think of one, diversity, equity, inclusion is vitally important to most organizations because diversity, equity, inclusion is fundamentally about creating organizations where we can leverage the diversity of the people who work within the workforce to add value to our clients if we're in a professional service capacity, to fuel innovation, or to help us expand products and markets. Just using another Amazon example is one of the exercises that we often had to think about is the orange chair. And the orange chair is meant to represent an infinite number of people who could be using our devices, our products, our services, and buying. So, you have to be thinking about the elderly grandmother from a small country that's living in the United States, for example. You have to be thinking about the veteran who's like, I love this little beauty product because my skin is going to look fantastic. And when you're able to occupy and consider all these different perspectives, you can do two things. One, you can have a broader perspective around how the services you provide can be useful to people, but then you can also say, wait a minute, might there be an innovative way to market this product to other communities that would not be naturally thought of based on the composition of the people in this room? So it really is essentially like a puzzle exercise to, how many more experiences can we consider that can really expand the aperture of our reach and connection with other individuals. So I see that. So that's one example of the vital importance of diversity, equity, inclusion. And then from a talent perspective, I think that oftentimes I would say that one of the biggest misconceptions is that diversity, equity, inclusion is only deemed important by younger millennials and Gen Zers. And that is absolutely not true. People across all generations are likely to leave companies if their people in their organization that they care about, regardless of background, are being poorly treated because of markers of identity.
Well, I could have said it better. Thank you. Thank you for that. It is important to everybody. Let me rephrase that. It should be important to everybody. But it's like my next question, sir, because you opened the door about perception. You talked about perception. So let's run with perception. So in your expert opinion, how do companies currently perceive DEI and how do they understand DEI?
Sure. That's a hard question to answer because I think that the media, politicians, random people from the street take a complex field and a complex topic like diversity, equity, inclusion, and think of it as one thing. I think it becomes important for us to have a framework to think about diversity, equity, inclusion at the standpoint of a company, the industry that company sits in, and then relatedly, the national conversation. So when there are people who are co-opting diversity, equity, inclusion to mean discrimination, indoctrination, and exclusion, that's significant manipulation of the term. But why?
We started from nothing